they're heavy. Now I remember why I was putting this off today. Why did you need to pick the heaviest bloody doors? We could have just got white ones and it'd been so much easier. Oh, just as well I've set up. Oh shit! Oh. Oh. Just as well I've set my cutting station up the stair because I'm not taking these up and down to plane them. Whew. My heart was like this, pitter patter, pitter patter. Right, now they're all up the stairs. If you've been here before and you've watched one of our videos where we hang the doors, you will know we like to do all of our cutting in the one go, then all of our planing in the one go, then do all the hinges in the one go, and then we'll do all the handles in the one go at the end. So that's what we're going to do for these threes, and it just makes the process so much easier. So if you're new here, you're going to learn something. Right, let's see what this one's height is. 1990. Probably won't need to cut it off it to try it. 1990, and there's a wee bit of a run. That one's like slightly less, this one's like 1987, so there might be a run in the top in the lintel. We'll find out when we put the door in and try it. Let's see the width actually. How bad is the width? Do we need to plane much off this one? 764, so we might be away with just getting to sit this one in without actually having to plane it. It might take a little bit off for clearance for when the hinges are on. The height of this door is 198. So let's just try it in. Ooh. It's a little bit tight down this bottom corner. When it comes to putting the door in first to check it in old frames, I always keep it nice and tight as possible to the hinge side, and the reason for that is it's just so much easier when you come to sand it, or if you have to plane anything off of this side, the painter can easily just paint the lock side while it's open as opposed to being in nice and tight at the frame. So just keep that in mind. If you can get away with only planing the lock side, do that. Now you can see down the bottom here it's quite tight, so I'm just going to take a couple of mil up, and then it starts to like even out, I would say about here, and then you're getting a nice gap. So probably we could have just gave that frame a good hit if it wasn't already painted, and it would have probably fixed itself. But we'll plane 2-3 mil off this to around here, and then we'll probably take, I'd say 2 mil maximum off the rest of the door full way, and then that door should be pretty much sound. The top gap is looking pretty decent. I can get a good finger width in there, so once I can get the door actually properly in, I'll measure it, and I'll see if I need to take anything more off for the carpets. That's looking pretty decent. Still needs another wee bit of this bottom corner. You can see it's looking a bit tight. There's like next to nothing there. And then all the way up, it actually gets better about here. You're getting the 3-4 mil that you want. So it's literally just about here. That's all I really need to take off. Woo. Right, next one on the chopping block. 85. Very little plane. This one looks so good so far. Look at the margins on this. Considering these are 100-year-old frames, 1930s this house was built, so 90 years old just about. It looks absolutely minted. Look at this. Beautiful gap, even all the way, scribed into the header. Beautiful hinges. I really like these doors. I can't remember the exact name, I think they're Daytona. Cracked a wee tiny bit as I was going round, but that's not too much of an issue. But I just think it looks really, really good, and I'll show you the hinges on the door as well. I take a lot of pride in my hinges, so I do. So I've got 2 more to do today, and then we'll be able to call it quits, and then tomorrow we're going to do the downside. Right, I'm just going to mark this one out really quickly and show you exactly my full process behind it. So now I've got the door cut to size, and I've also planed it so it fits in the frame pretty good to what I think. So hopefully when it's hinged we don't need to take any more off it, right? Could probably do another 2 mil off the planer, but we'll wait and see once it's actually in. So what I do is I get my air wedge and I slide it under. Should have put that under first. Even if you just lift the door and kick it under. Come on. Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. That's it in there, right? And then we're going to pump it up. Don't you know, bump it up. You've got to bump it up. You see the door rising, and when it gets just about the top, we're going to stop. We're going to take a hinge. I can hear everybody saying, oh, wash your teeth. Okay, we're going to take a hinge, and that's about a couple mil gap. Pop the hinge in, and then pump it back up till the hinge is going to give you the gap at the top. And that air wedge will keep that in there pretty solid. quite happy with that. Next thing we're going to do is take my spare hinge that I've got and I'm going to measure down 150mm, or if you want 6 inches from the top of the frame. So there's our mark there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the hinge, we're going to open it up and we're going to put it on that line, and this way I can mark the frame and the door at the exact same time, and then they're going to line up when I come to hang the door, and mark it on the door as well, and then that way I can put a wee X, and that way I know where the hinge is going, and I'm going to do the exact same for the bottom. So the bottom's a wee bit different. You're going to want to come 225 up from the bottom, and also 9 inches if you're using inches. And the reason for that is why you come up a wee bit bigger for the bottom is because when your eyes look down, it's a wee bit deceiving, so it will look even from the top and bottom if you came up a wee bit extra. So I always do 6 inches down and 9 inches up. One more thing I'm going to do here is measure off the floor 20mm or 25mm, and that's going to give us our gap for our carpet. Now it might be a wee bit more than that, but in this instance less is more, and I'm going to just want to do 25, and then if the carpets, it needs cut after the carpets, then I need to cut it. It might just mean that it's giving it that much that the carpet fitters can tuck the carpet under, but it might still rub in the carpet, which is good because it means they don't take the doors off. Because if you've ever fitted doors and had carpet fitters take them off, they just chew all the screws and make a mess of the door, so at least they can tuck the carpet under. So that can get cut one more time. We've marked out our hinges. Now if you're working in pairs, this is a great opportunity. Someone can chisel at the frame, someone can go away and work on the door. In this instance, I'm on my Todd, apart from the camera guy, so I'm just going to have to do it both myself. So I'll cut the door, do the hinges, then I'll come back, do the chiseling it in the frame, hang the door, bish bash bosh, we're done. Right, I'm just going to do the hinges on the frames first, just because it's a wee bit easier, then that's another thing done, right? So what I do is just get my wee square, and the lines that we marked on the front of the frame, I just transfer them round. That's what we're going to be taking out. And then do the exact same down the bottom. Bingo! I'll do this one at the same time, eh? Bingo! Right, that's what we're taking out. That's what we're taking out, lad. Then I'll get myself a hinge. I should have got it before I sat down there, because I was comfy down there. And then I always put most on the post, so there's like 3 knuckles, 1, 2, 3 on this hinge, and 1, 2 on this hinge. I always put this one on. Oh, Stephen, I think you put this check on too tight, son. Right, weapon of choice, we're going to go for Halterfords 32mm and the Martinez M1. I always start with the top. Jumped ahead and I hung the last bedroom door. I filmed it POV on the head cam, so you sure you guys are going to see in a little minute. I'm going to kind of talk through my hinge process and how I do it. Now I know there's a lot of hinge jigs on the market. There's so many different ones you can get. I've never really found one that I like, that's quite easy to set up and just really simple. I quite like the template ones where you use a flush trim bit. They ones have worked good in the past, but it's trying to get a decent one. I know the Robin Clevitt one is really good. I haven't had a chance to get a shot of it, so Robin, if you're watching it, send us one out. Now another thing I often get asked is these door stands. Now I got these on Amazon UK, depends where you're watching this. I'll leave a link in the description below and you can go check them out. They're so good, so handy. The only thing you need to watch sometimes is the corner of the door when you're putting it down, but I just usually use a wee kneeling mat and then that pretty much protects it. But anyway, let's go on to the hinge. So obviously you've got your marks for where you've marked it against the frame. Now I just square them round onto the side of the door, like so. And then what we'll do is do the exact same up here and here. And again, you'll see all this on the POV cam in just a moment. Right, hinges. Now if you were setting up the router, what I would do is draw around the hinge. And again, I just draw around it every time as well, because it keeps, so that you know that your router's set up right. Quick line round, bish bash bosh, wee squiggly line for fun. Same up this end, in between the 2 lines. And then what I do is I get a really sharp Stanley knife, especially when oak. Hold your square up to the line where the hinge is going to be going. You can put your knife in first and then just score against your square like that. And what that's going to stop is going to stop your oak from breaking out and splitting out when you come to router it. Once that's done, oftentimes I'll run down it with a Stanley knife, but I've quite enjoyed recently just going along it with a nice sharp chisel and just giving it a wee tap. Just along that back line as if you were going to chisel it in by hand. And I often get people saying, oh, you're using a router, you're not a very good joiner, doing it old school, blah blah blah, hammer and chisel. Like, move with the times, come on, are you still using a handsaw to rip down a sheet of plywood? No. You're using a rip saw, same way I'm using a router for speed, efficiency. Would you use a hand plane? No. Time is money. Money. Obviously I'm going to use a router if it's so much faster. Yes, I can do it by hand, but what is the point? Also, using a router is going to give you that factory finish, if you like, every single time, where there's consistency. Doing it by hand, you might get tired at the end of the day and then you might slip, but anything can happen. So that's why it is a router. So if you're going to come at me and be like, oh, you need to do the full thing by hand, well, I know what I'm doing, so I'll do what I want. Alright, pal. Whew. So once I've done that, I'm going to get the router and I'm going to get lovely assistant Jodie, and you're going to hold the vacuum and I'm going to route it out. It's gorgeous. So the router bit I'm using is just a straight flute bit, and then I've got my fence obviously set at the depth of the hinge going in. Now that's routed out, that's a funny word. We're going to take our hammer and our chisel again, and we should just be able to very lightly tap out the excess, and then we'll get to screwing on the hinge. So you've already got the lines for earlier when I chat. And again, I've seen the corner chisels, but I'm not a fan of them, they're a gimmick. Use a normal chisel. Bish bish bosh. And what I do is just any wee loose bits, just pare off, and that's going to tidy it up a wee bit for you, look. Beautiful. Bish bish bush. Again, pare it out this corner, then we'll go the other side. Wee bit of paring, there we go. Right. That part done. So when it comes to oak, always use a pilot hole bit. This is just the wee centre ones you get. Pick them up screw fix, they're really cheap and they're good. If you don't pilot hole with oak, you'll always snap the screw. And make sure you use the right drill bit. I'm using a PZ2, and the reason why I use a longer drill bit when it comes to the doors is so you can get into the hinge a wee bit when you're actually hanging the door. What's left to do now is get it in position and get it hung. Let's go! Is it going to be 3 out of 3? No additional planing or sanding needed? Let us hope. Get my drills ready, my screws. Right, so the way I do it is prop it up on an angle at the back, so lifting the back hinge up, screw that in, and then I put my air wedge at the front of the door and push it up at the front, and then that will lift the door up. That's in position. Right, so then there's the air wedge getting in the front. The air wedges are brilliant. So good. Right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, will we get it closed this time? No additional planing or sanding required. No. Yeah, dirty, smelly rat. Then it'll cut off. Oh, wait a minute. We might get away with not actually planing any. The hinge might just need to go in a wee bit deeper, because it's literally millimetres. Right, let's see if that's fixed it. Pull the hinge up. Nah, still ain't playing it. It is what it is. So we're going to take this off, plane 2-3mm off it, and then we'll be able to get it. We'll be right. Oh, by the way, that was a perfect amount. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I'm going to catch you lot tomorrow where we're going to fit the 3 downstairs. Right, the day I'm continuing with these doors, moving down the stairs now, I'm going to just fit them the exact same process as I did with the upstairs one. Just wanted to show you these doors with the glass in it. It's the same Daytona Oak doors, and I think the glass looks absolutely minted. That one's for the kitchen and this one is for the living room, and then obviously we've got the bathroom one to do. So I'm going to fit these really quickly and then we'll catch back up and have a wee look at the handles and latches. I have been trying to complete these doors for over 7 days now, can you believe it or not? There's only 6 bloody doors in this house and it's taken me 7 days. Why do things take so much longer
when it is in your own house. Last Saturday, I got them all hanging upstairs, and then on Sunday I moved down to the downstairs one, and all week I've been trying to just complete them, get the handles done, show you guys, and things have just been going, I've been pulled from pillar to post. It started off with doing me bits and bobs for the painter coming, the plumber coming, just moving things around, and the floor layers have came, spent a lot of time lifting the floor downstairs. I have been up to see a couple of different jobs that we have got ongoing in the background, as well as our project. Finally, time I'm doing this, it's actually 9 o'clock at night. Jodie's just went to the gym. Finally get peace and quiet. I've put the dog in the corner. So me and her are on the back shift, and we're going to get these doors fitted. One thing I'm excited about, and one thing I'm motivated about, my new Diamondback vest arrived. So we've teamed up with Diamondback Tools, and you guys know in all my previous videos, and ever since I was like a 4th year apprentice, I got my first Diamondback toolkit. And I pretty much just absolutely love the whole product, the concept. It's completely customizable. So I had the belt for a while, and I had the suspenders, etc. And I loved it, but they brought out the new Diamondback X range, so like new pouches, they've upgraded the material, and loads of different features. Like one of the coolest features, and I'll just quickly show you. See the hammer sling? They've like halved that, which has took a lot of weight off. And they've also added this wee nail bar puller, which I think is pretty awesome, because that used to swing down on this pouch. So this is like the Mazzle X pouch. So like previously I had the Mazzle pouch on this side, and I also had the Clavo on this side, but these are the X ones, so the new up-to-date ones. And the elephant in the room, this vest, it just looks so amazing. And I've been wanting to try the vest for a while because, again, like I said, I've always had the belts, but see when you bend over in the belts, sometimes it digs into you, or if you're working on the floor, you can't really wear it, and it really, really hurts your like middle, like on your hips sometimes if you've been wearing it all day. So all the weight of this is now purely on my shoulders, opposed to being on my hips and then distributed via my braces that I've been wearing. So I actually think it's so cool, and it's completely customizable. You can like clip things onto your vest, which I think is really cool, and you can get different bits, like magnet bits. It's very similar to the Snickers tool vest. I don't like the Snickers one, and this is my honest opinion, and the reason is it's not customizable. So literally, like, I could like take this pouch off, I could put a bigger one on if I'm doing framing, or if I'm doing finishing, I can have it to suit me. I could get rid of this pouch and just have like a hammer loop here, and it's just, there's just so many different things. It's so variable, which is so good because how many different tasks and jobs we do. But anyway, I'll never get these doors done if I don't shut up. So this is my new toolkit. I'm going to be trying it out for a while. Super excited about it. Finally, peace and quiet. We're going to get the doors done. So I'm going to start with this one here. And this one I've been filming a POV short form video for this one. And then through here, we've also got that cupboard one and the other bedroom one. So I'm going to do this one really quickly, and then I'm going to go into a bit more detail, and I'll show you guys how I'm doing the latch on the hall one, and I think that'll be a bit easier. Right, so door number one. Now, a lot of people ask me how I get my POV shot, so I'm actually filming this door latch, hello Missy, for Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to go check it out, then on you go. But I just thought I'd include it, and you can see how we get the shots. It's an Action 5 cam, DJI Pro, amazing camera, so good, such a good action cam, waterproof, wide angle lens, it's just absolutely amazing. I see you, we're going to the handle in a minute. And you don't need all the fancy gear, like it took me quite a while, and good few years to build it up. You can literally just start with an iPhone. I used to put my iPhone on my head and it worked absolutely fine, but as I've grew and got a bit better, that's what we've kind of switched to. Going to film this one, it's actually taken me that long to do these doors. The bloody painter has been and finished them, so I need to mask and tape them all up so there's no pencil marks. Let me crack on with this one, and then we'll go into a wee bit more detail with the last one. So this is going to be the one I'm going to do in depth. I'm using an air wedge to keep it in place, the door in place I should say, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of how I do the latches. So let me just pump this up. So basically all you want to do is measure up a metre, or your desired height of your handle. So I'm choosing a metre. So they're all the same height through the gaff. 3 metre there, put a wee mark here, and because these have been properly finished with the painter, I'm going to mask and tape it up. Also, see masking tape up with oak? I suppose it does kind of save going back at the end and sanding off your pencil marks or rubbing off your pencil marks. You still see? Ah, you can still see. By the way, it's 20 to 10 at night and I'm still doing this. Fuck it, it's fun. I love fucking joinery, I love construction. Love fitting door handles. Got Shane Smith on, so sound. Any Shane Smith fans? And the Saints, I found them for watching Yellowstone. Meter up again, square that line across the face, and then square it right across the back of the door. That's going to be your mark for your setback for your handle. Then what you're going to want to do is take a ruler or your combi square, I'm using a combi square, and just set that to 17.5 because the doors are 35mm thick. So you want 17.5. Then we're going to draw a centre line. I do it on both sides, so turn the square around and it should be perfect in the middle. There. You're going to take the latch. Basically you're going to just draw, you see, so basically hold the latch on the faceplate and then get your wee mark there. I'm going to just do it on this side, but you get the idea. And the only reason I'm doing it on this side is because it'll be easier for me to drill. Take your combi drill, that pilot hole bit on it. I am using a metal bit. I shouldn't really use a metal bit because they can tend to snap in oak. Watch this, it'll probably happen now. And then what you'll do is just pilot hole right on that X, and then I'll explain why I did that in a minute, right? But it's important just do it. There you go, the pilot hole sorted. Again, I would recommend using a wood bit, right? The reason why I told you to pilot hole it with that is because I'm using these auger bits. And see the auger bits have got a screw bit at the top, which kind of just pulls the auger into the oak door. See, if you don't pilot hole it, it's basically just going to split right up the wood. Not going to be very pretty, is it? So I'm using a 25 for the latch bore. After you've done that, take your 22 and you want to drill through the side. Now drill through both sides, so when you go through the first side, when your wee screwy bit comes out, that's called worming. So when that pops out, that's when you want to drill. See it popping out like that? See if I went right through? That would bust the door, and that would be a very good idea. Right, now we've done that, we can get down to the nitty gritty. Take your finger and clear out the hole. Shove it in there, hold it straight, do the bottom one first. Don't know why, always just do the bottom one first. Screw it up, and then we're going to move on to the top one. And the reason why I did the bottom one first is now you can tweak it, make sure it's straight. A lot of people skip this step, but I think this step's actually really helpful. Screwing it on before you draw around it. Oh shit. I actually think it's quite helpful to hold it in position and knife round it. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I want to just knife round it holding it in place, then good for you, but I'm going to screw it, and that way I can get a wee bit more control with my knife. It's just the way I do it. A million ways to skin a cat. A lot of people use jigs. I don't like jigs. Right, so you're basically just scoring down the side of your lat face. Take your time, you don't want your knife to slip on the oak. Stay nice and steady because oak's a hardwood, remember. Doesn't want to be chopped up, doesn't want to be slashed and dashed. It's very difficult to work with. Just for the purpose of this, so that you can see it with the camera, just go into the, see the slash that you just did, into the groove. Go into that with your fine pencil. Always keep a fine pencil on you. The normal pencils are good, but this one's like really, really tiny. It's like a wee needle. Unscrew her. Big hammer, and I am using a Howdens 18mm chisel. Normally I use a 25mm and just go boof, boof, one hit. But I've actually found it's a wee bit easier if you do it with the 18 and just slow it down a wee bit. I don't know why, I'll go through phases. I'll go back to using the 25mm. So you always want to chisel at the bottom first, because if you do the sides, again, it can just split right down the door. So take care of the bottom, and then go up to the top, and we're going to take care of that. And that's the whole point in knifing it, is one, to break the fibres in the timber, and also it gives you a nice line for your chisel to sit on. Reindentation between them. Just gentle wee taps. Tap, tap, tap it in like Happy Gilmore. So you can see it kind of starting to break. It's just so thin at the sides. You've only got like... This always makes my arm burn. I don't know why, for holding the chisel so tight. Anyway, I'm waffling, I'm rambling, talk shit. And then I go half on, just where the screw hole is. Don't panic if you see the chipboard, it's just because I've had to plane so much off these doors. And in these old frames, just take your time, be careful with it. Like a glove. Screw it up. Right, handles, spindle in the first handle, pop it through, right? I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, he's not drilled the holes for the through bolts. Right, I'm going to debunk the through bolts. Why in the box? 4 holes on this handle, yeah? 4 holes. Why do you get 8 screws if you need to use the through bolts as well? Surely it's 4 screws each side and that'll be the handle solid. It's going absolute nowhere. Now, I get through bolts are important, and I do understand why they're needed, but this is my house. I've not got any kids. Nobody's going to rip these handles off. 90% of the customers that we are working for as well, if you've got 4 screws in it and the grub screw tightened right up, you don't need the through bolts unless it's fire rated. I think, because see if you had a normal handle that wasn't a rose handle, like a faceplate handle, then you wouldn't fit through bolts on that. You would just be fitting 4 screws. So anybody comes at me in this video and be like, oh, you've not fitted the through bolts, shut up. Shut up, it's my house, I'll do what I want, right? So handles, once the grub screw's tightened up and your spindles are tightened up, use a PZ1, make sure you use the right drill bit, see? See, use the right drill bit and your screws won't chew. Now always make sure that it's square and your latch is fully all the way out. Top, bottom, side, side. I think that's Jodie back, she could be raging, she'll be like, why are you still doing work? And why have you only finished 2 doors? Then we cover.
Hello, Bestie. Hello, YouTube.
And then repeat on the other side.
All that time you've only done 2 handles?
I knew she would say that! I told him you would say that. We've finally done it. All the doors are fitted. We've got the glazed ones downstairs and the standard oak ones up the stair. Thanks very much for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.